What am I supposed to see? It's more about shifting the question to turn it back on the viewer and say, well, what is it that you're seeing? We live in a highly visual world. Work that's being made today is engaged with that visuality almost in its sort of overflowing bounty, let's say, with the proliferation of images. This invites a different kind of work, paring things down and creating a focus within the cacophony of the world.
It's important to enjoy the organization, the directness. In some ways, it's quite small, but the difference between an enamel paint and a flat paint is a big difference when it's presented this way. And I think that's the key to having being able to relate to the paintings.
This work having a few relationships and having something like color as the primary experience to be had allows a reorientation of the viewer's perception and experience, and think about, well, what does it mean to have been moved in some way by something which is so separate from daily experience? And in a way is also maybe not, because yes, a circle or a square is very familiar, but in a way that amount of attention that we would spend with it in the context of Bannard's paintings is not usual.
Actually, I don't know how he did it that made the circles work so well. I believe that these paintings were all painted at Princeton, probably in his cellar, in the house that he lived in. He had graduated before I did, and he had a job in the little gallery, which was downtown Princeton. And we used to go there all the time. We had shows there. The students had shows there, and it was basically a frame shop. Darby worked there and more or less ran it, and then went home at night. He had plenty of time to paint. It was not a difficult job, or not a stressful job, to say the least. And he was painting all the time in the basement. I was working at the studio in the school, so we saw each other quite a bit, and we went to the city to see what work was being exhibited there. Mostly second generation abstract expressionists, and that would give us a lot to dish. So we could talk about how messy this was and what that was, and da-da-da-da. Relax and experience the shapes and the color. I mean, if you look at them just a little bit, I can't believe that people are not drawn in.